Hello everyone, this is Jensen Vars, and in this occasion I'm going to play a mystery space horror adventure which I tried before and failed horribly. So I'm going to reboot it, I'm going to retake what I planned to save some time. I'm going to even use my character John Adams in this system called Freeform Universal RPG. It's a minimalistic system, let's say. Um, So yeah, what I'm going to do different. Um, I got stuck before because I don't know how to run a mystery solo game, really. I was getting stuck and going nowhere, played for a while, but it didn't make any sense. So, what's new? I'm going to use the mystery adventure setup of the Mythic magazine's number 7 that gives you a a mystery matrix to fill in with a bunch of rules. They are very simple, but basically you collect clues and suspects and you connect them to each other. And that supposedly is gonna help me organize the mystery. On the second hand, since I'm going to be onboarding a drifting spaceship, which I have no idea what it looks like, I'm going to use spaceship location crafter from Mythic magazine number, I think it's number 7, and the mystery matrix is number 6. So sorry about that. So there are two different magazine numbers. And the location crafter is going to help me organize and figure out what's coming next. And on top of that, if that was not enough, I'm going to use Mythic magazine 18 because it brings a lot of tables. And that's really cool. It includes character tables, descriptors, clues, creature abilities, etc. Anyways, let's get started. And the point is that this adventure should not be combat oriented, so I don't want to run out of ideas and simply throw a big monster to my PC. I want to keep it somehow a mystery, like, I don't know, research, secrets, political intrigue, more difficult stuff than the usual. So, how do we start? The story itself, going to go super briefly. John Adams is the PC. He belongs to the Nuxia research team. He has two crew members, Laura Nixon and Robert Hendricks. They are helpers. They're going to stay behind in the ship as John Adams boards the Hanobis 91, supposedly a former project. Oops, there's a typo here. Was apparently a lie. No one dares to investigate. No one is willing to pay for this expedition. And something that happened on this spaceship that we're boarding caused a war between two factions. This is a homebrew setting, but humanity is on the space, and Interstellar Manifest Federals, the IMF, is in war against the democratic tenets of the universe, the DTU. Something happens on this spaceship. Our character wants to figure out what happened, and we have a bunch of clues. So let's get started. I'm going to open the mystery matrix. I'm going to start the clues that we got. How I generated this by making some questions and part of the game setup. Not going to cover that here. So the mystery is going to be what happened in the Hanobis 91 caused the war. And I'm going to use a more evil font and colored style. Great. And we have a bunch of clues that I'm going to pre-write. We don't have to, but since we have some. The ship, came to sudden stop. That means something happens. Something happened on the ship that made it stop and start drifting on space. Second clue is not giving response. That means there's no one alive inside or someone is ignoring us. So it's in a way a clue. What else do we know? There's a former project and it turned out to be a lie. a former project or ally of a project. So that's going to be a clue because there's something that is known that happened there. And for some reason, no one dares investigate. That means maybe there's something scary or something no one wants to be related with. So, 4 clues. Is there any suspect? That's a good question. I'm going to ask Mythic for that. Is there any known or rumored suspect? Yes, there is. Then I'm going to start using the mechanic. This is like a kind of pre-set up, still part of the game. The mechanic for the mysteries should be down here. Suspects. We're going to roll as if we got a new suspect, and we need a new suspect, and for that probably we need inspiration. Let me open it up. I think I should have it loaded on Foundry. Let me check. Characters, suspect descriptors, yeah. Horrible, ambush, that's our suspect. How do we read that? Can you guys help me? A suspect that's related to an ambush, to a horrible ambush. So I guess, why is that a suspect if he was ambushed? Or maybe, think. Whatever we think, we need to write it down here. As our first suspect. Maybe they say, the rumors say, the ship was ambushed by a group of terrorists who are horrible. So we need a new faction here, but let's suspect the terrorists. Let's give them a name. So let's start with acronyms. The FDT. FDT. So that means the Frankian Doom terrors. I don't know, whatever. Come up with that super quickly as I could. So these are potential terrorists that some rumor says it was attacked, but why did it cause a war? That means like there's some people saying that this was an arranged war or a triggered war by a third faction, the FDT. I'm not sure if that helps, but we don't have any idea of what's happening on that ship. So, scene number 1, how will the game start? The character, John Adams, is going to board the Anubis through some pressurized room. Let's assume he manages to open it. He goes through it. It's all turned off and dark and silent on the ship. And afterwards, he manages to crack open a door with his datapad cracker, and he will get into the first room of the ship, which will be, I don't know. So let's roll on our starship location table. We need 3 times d10. 1, 2, 3. So 10, 6, 6. That means random, expected. No, this location is a small spaceship, so random, expected. So what's a random location? I don't know, but expected encounters. And the location is going to be a random location. So for that, I know I have a spaceship on the magazine 18, starship descriptor stable, block stop, block stop. So what's block stop? I guess it's a transition area from the pressurized room, the pressure room, that the one that allows people to go out to deep space, and it it's basically wherever we store over there. So I'm going to place like pressure room storage, pressure storage room. I know it's not so fancy, but it's whatever I came with, and I'm the one playing. So that's where we start. What do we expect of this scene? For this, I'm going to use a homebrew I made. That's basically very easy. It is rolling on the focus table to see what's the scene about. And here I'm using the mystery focus table from the mystery magazine. And it starts with something good happening to an NPC. The challenge is going to be an intelligence, and it's going to be a regular challenge. So this is what I call the scene designer. It helps me come up with something. So the first scene is something good happening to an NPC. I don't have many NPCs. I think I only have my colleagues, Robert Hendricks and Laura Nixon. Guess I have to roll one of them. I got Laura. Laura is the communications expert. If I check the adventure sheet, she thinks this ship is a result of a corrupt factions that lead us to war. So basically, the corruptor, we learned that it could be the terrorist faction that lead us to war before. So it's not the first time. She becomes a specialist once enemy of the PC. They are now traveling together. That's all we know. Something good happens for her. I guess something good means, and as an intelligence test, that if John realizes in that room there is something that will help Laura, which she's a communications expert. So maybe he will find an amplifier, a communications amplifier that's going to benefit Laura a lot, and that's the PCs. So this is how the scene starts. Scene alteration. I'm not going to alter the first scene because we know already too much. And that's how it starts. John's walking around. I'm going to ask, can John breathe in the ship? Because I'm going to put it likely, because otherwise that means the oxygen support system is turned off or broken, but it's not. He can breathe, so he takes the helmet off. He hangs it on his belt, and he starts looking around the area, and he's going to check if he's smart enough to find this communications amplifier with an intelligence related test. That's mind. He was a scout, ground forces scout before. I don't think anything helps him finding this, so I'm going to standard roll a freeform reading thermal roll. Does he manage to find it? No. So that's sad for him. He's going to look. There are many devices, electronics, components of sorts, but doesn't find anything of particular value. What Sean is going to do is going to look for any clues or what's his impression so far around this place. Is it a mess or is it tidy? Does it look like someone escaped? Does it look like someone escaped? Trying to learn something. No. But a random event. Something is moving away. Moving us away from a threat, so it's going to be confusing. Vengeance of allies. Okay, so John is gonna learn that there's no attempts of escape or opening or moving things away, or it does not look like the room was prepared to get out, for people to get out. And even he will find in one of these control door controls that actually the opposite. It was closed, as like overridden closed, as if someone was preventing anyone from going out. I'm going to write down that as a clue, because this is a clue we learn. Now, I don't know if I should write everything as a clue as soon as I find it, but let's see. Controls, so space, hatch, overridden as closed. So no one could get out, at least not so easily. Okay, he's going to look for the next exit. Going to continue, and progress points 0 on clues. Going to put 1 now. Suspects 1, no 0. We didn't make any progress, but after each scene I think we need to increase the progress points. Scene number 2. John is going to look for a transition on the location. Let's see, location, connectors table. I think we have to roll a d100 here. It's a small spaceship. $39. Unexpected. Okay, so I expect some sort of stairs that go up vertically, and he's going to get to the next room. So what's the next scene is gonna be about when he opens the hatch? I need to know what's next in the ship. So I'm going to roll d 3 times. 3 times on the area element. We got 9, 4. Oh, I need to sum 1 to each one of them. So 10, 5, and 8. 10, another random. 5, no encounters. 8, expected. So none. Nothing's going to be encountered here. And some expected objects on whatever area or whatever we expect from this location. So what's a random location? Again, specialized meaning. I think this would be very, very slow if we played on pen and paper. Like I have quite some automation going on here. Location. Starship. Descriptors. Vehicle. Average. Okay, so I expect some sort of space shuttle garage. And what do I expect is the shuttle itself. Is the shuttle there? I'm going to put likely because we learned before that someone's preventing from anyone to go out. But who knows, maybe someone did go out. So John is going to open the hatch, he's going to find the shuttle there. He's going to look around, and I'm going to try to figure out what kind of scene this will be with my scene designer idea. So, scene designer idea, give me a focus, someone doing something of the NPCs. Again, looks like is this the only result? Looks like there's plenty here in this focus, but yeah. Someone of the NPCs is doing something which is not really relevant. And a challenge of a perception, a difficult perception challenge. So who is going to do something? Laura again. So Laura's going to communicate with John. She's going to say, John, I guess you're in the garage area. Is the shuttle over there? And John's gonna respond, yes. Why? What is Laura thinking? Work hard and good. Okay, I think she's going to give you the idea of looking for the shuttle because we had a perception test on the scene setup. So she's going to propose John to look for the shuttle starter to be ready to escape. John, I have an idea, just in case anything happens. Look for the keys. The starter of the shuttle should be around there, over there. You have to look for it. With the starter, you will be able to start an emergency exit, and in case anything happens, you will be able to escape. John's going to accept that good idea, and he's going to look for the starter. Does he know how a shuttle starter look like? We don't know, but he's a scout military. There's no reason for him to be particularly bad or good at it. So, simple, freeform universal road. Yes, but is the answer. So, yes, but it's broken, I guess. Of course it's broken. If someone's preventing anyone to escape, the first thing you do is break the means of exit. So, Laura, someone was trying to prevent anyone from escaping. I noticed that on the pressurized room, and here I found the starter of the shuttle, but it's also scrambled. The starter doesn't work. And I guess we have an engineer on the crew, the other character, right? Where is the adventure page? I have a mess here. Here, Robert Hendrick. He's the eccentric engineer who puts everyone in danger. Will Hendrick be able to repair it? Is it? I mean, let's check first. Is the shuttle starter damaged by software? Or is it like physically damaged? I have no idea. Yes, it is by software damaged, and actually someone's going to do something. I'm going to take, of course, Robert Hendricks for this action. He's going to befriend magic, so of course Robert is going to offer him this idea. John, make a copy of the binaries with your communication system. I'm going to perhaps be able to work on it and see if I can fix it. I think it was scrambled by system, but so the storage should be intact. Serialize it and send a copy to me now. Okay, so John Adams is going to send a copy of the shuttle starter, and I'm going to add that as a thread. Is it so important? Yeah, I guess so. Whenever next time this thread comes up, there will be progress around it. So John Hendricks is going to try and repair the shuttle starter. Cool. So he's looking around, and let me check how the Mythic matrix, mystery matrix works, because if I'm not mistaken, I can check at any time if there are clues on the scene on investigation, right? Because that's what we are doing. We are looking for clues and suspects. So continue this way with your character following leads and asking fate questions as they would in any adventure. Record suspects and clues that you think are important. There are only so many suspect and clue spaces, so trivial suspects and clues should be passed over. If you run out of spaces, decide if this suspect or clue is more important. So I'm going to make some questions, I guess. And discovery check is the second way to fill out. Investigations are following the leads. Discovery check is about checking into the unknown. They're up to my own discretion. If you come across a character who you think is a suspect, then they become a suspect. They have to go through this process. Has to do something to earn a discovery check. Does he find the records he's looking for? So I need to do something to earn it, and then if I earn it, if the character succeeds, I need to make this specific discovery question. And if yes, I need to roll on the mystery elements table. And then follow it up. Okay, fair enough. Let's continue. So we're on the shuttle garage. We learned that someone is still preventing someone else from escaping. And I'm assuming the shuttle garage is just big enough to handle this shuttle, so it's not much space to walk around. I'm imagining, yeah, John walking around looking for something. So I guess nothing else will happen because the scene was on the focus of the shuttle situation. So let's continue looking for scene number 3. We check the connectors on the location. 3 times D10. All of them plus 2 now. 8, 9, and 6. 8, I think it's gonna be another random, right? No. 8 is unexpected. Unexpected location. 9 is going to be random encounter. And 6 is going to be expected. Expected object based on the expected location. What's the connector to the next location is 92. Descriptions meaning table. So it's a connector that looks like connector to scene 3. Busily soft. I don't know what that means, but I guess it's just a small corridor until the next room. Connectors don't have to be so special. The only thing is we'll have an encounter. What's an encounter? Going to roll a random event. the random encounter is NPC positive. It seems like everything is happening something good. They neglect illusions. Is that the encounter really? So I don't know what this kind of encounter is this. Let me check if any of the specialized meaning can help me with a random encounter. Nah. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to guess the NPCs. Some of the NPCs will do something. Let's see who. Robert Hendricks is going to bother me for something on my way on the next room. What do you want, Robert? Because he said neglect illusions is what he wants. Should we ask again? What does he want? Because that's the random neglecting illusions. So I guess it's something good for him. I'm guessing he's going to tell me that he's been checking its shuttle starter and to confirm it's not broken. So we are neglecting this situation that this was a violent attempt. So it looks like everything was thought thoroughly as a plan to avoid anyone from escaping. And the shuttle starter can be cracked open. He needs just more time. And yeah, he will continue working on it. Now, I don't know why this freaking table is giving me always NPC positive 3 times in a row. Let me try it. Just for a test. PC positive, okay. Seems like it can give other results. Yeah, okay, it's not a problem with the table. Just NPC positive is always a good thing, I guess. So Robert is very busy on that. Continuing, what kind of scene we will have next? As you can see, this is quite a crunchy, or let's say busy exploration with all of these systems all together. So here I'm going to fill it in with Robert confirmed he can fix it. This was the event encounter here. Good for you. John is going to continue exploring the spaceship, and he's going to come to the next room, which is an expected location room. I'm guessing this is going to be one of the areas where the core areas of the ship, where if there's anyone, it would happen here. So scene number 4. No, sorry, this is scene number 3. Scene number 3, what are you going to look like? Focus, challenge, and factor. Come on, focus PC positive again. This is something good for me. I thought it was NPC. For John. It's going to be a combat. I didn't want combat in this game as a rule number 1, but combat must not be the core of the scene. Maybe there's something else I'm fighting. But it's good for me. It's a good combat for me, for John. What can be a good combat for John? What kind of combat is coming for him? So let's ask Mythic. I guess combat means combat, right? Let's accept the fact there's maybe a crazy crew member or some sort of bacteria or animal or something. So let's go to specialized meaning, character identity, who is going to attack me? A crafter. So an engineer is going to open fire as soon as John opens the door to the lobby area. I'm going to make notes of how the ship looks like. We had a pressurizer room. Next to it, we have some sort of storage room. Then we had some stairs. That took us to the shuttlescape. And now we are in some sort of lobby. Storage blocks and P. This is for a pressurized room. And John is going to be now here. John, hey John. I'm going to make you a circle. At yes, this is John. So John came from the shuttle garage to the main lobby. What happens next? It's a combat, guys. So I'm fighting as a person that looks like the engineer because I guess he has some sort of tech tools or screws and hammers or whatever. And the guy has a pistol and he's going to open fire first. Does he impact on John? I think John was careful, so I'm going to give him a negative bonus. I'm going to roll twice and pick the worst result. No, so pow! Plasma pistol hits on the border of the door. John takes cover. John, what do you do? John is going to try to convince this person to stop firing. Stop firing! I'm here to help. This is a research expedition. Stop! Will they stop? I don't know. No, he's not. Pow, pow. This guy's going to continue firing on the pistol. Damn it. So I guess John would want to knock this guy off. And I have some explosives. Can I change the explosives with flash? Or yeah, like stunning explosives. I guess makes more sense. Going to roll flash, and it's going to try to hit unconscious this guy. Does he succeed? Well, how good is the guy? He's an engineer. Going to roll a d6. 6 is he's very good at combat. 1 he sucks. This is going to impact the advantage. So he's very good at fighting this guy who's shooting. So I'm going to roll a single non-advantage roll for John to roll the knocking grenade. It hits. It gets him unconscious. Not unconscious. It hits. He falls to the ground, but he's not unconscious. So he's knocked off. He stops firing. John has a chance to step in. The next round, this guy. Does he lose his weapon? Does he drop the weapon? on knockout. Because the impact might have rendered him unarmed. He does not drop the weapon, and something else weird happens. Overindulge weather. So I guess what's gonna happen is we're going to trigger some sort of defense mechanisms on the spaceship. It's an ambiguous event, so we're not sure what's going to do about that. But John's going to quickly enter, running. He's going to rush and try to apprehend this man. I have quick reflexes. I am ground forces ex-military, John is. So I'm going to give him the advantage to succeed. The other guy is on the ground, stunned. The best result is yes, but. So he jumps, comes running. The lobby is ringing. There's noise. And John jumps on top of these guys. They start to struggle and fight. A few punches here. Smashing a few things out. He managed to keep him reduced, but what? But what? I don't know what is the but here. I think for that, but John drops his rifle, his light rifle, so he's temporarily unarmed. What's gonna happen next? John won the fight. The stunning explosives are no longer there. He used it. And John's gonna ask, who are you? Give up. The question is, will he give up? Is he in his mind? Is the man on his laurels? Because maybe he's crazy or... No, so he's in full rage. And John has no option but to punch him once again and knock him off. Going to give him an automatic success on that. The downside is we will not learn anything from him right now, as he is on range, on rage. Though, do we succeed? The best of these two results. Yes, and the guy stays put. That's in the scene number 4. John, before the scene ends, John is going to look around for ways of turning off the alarm system. Does he succeed? No. So he looks around, there's a table, there's a cafe machine, few stuff over there. How does it look like? How does the lobby look like? Where is the adventure? Mysteriously aromatic, so it smells good. There's some machine emanator that gives some sort of smell, but what if? What if this is poisonous? As he smells this weird aroma, John covers his face and tries to figure out, and he calls Laura to scan this. And I guess he has a scanner for chemical. I guess to make it helpful. And he goes back to the shuttle garage, covering his face. He brings the man with him. going to call this a man for now. And I'm going to add him to the NPCs list. Engineer man. Cool. He's going to bring him out, close the door, because he doesn't like this idea, and he takes a sample and he submits it to Laura for investigation. So this is a chance to learn something. I'm going to automatically roll on the mystery table. Here you are. We have definitely a suspect. The engineer. So I'm going to add the suspect here. The engineer. And I am going to roll on the clues table to see what we learn from this chemical on the air. 1d10 plus progress point, that means 1d10 plus 1 gives me a 7. That's a new linked clue. I think new linked clue, we need to roll randomly on a clue from 1 to 100. Clue 25 is the one here. Space hatch overreading as closed. Obviously the engineer is the one who closed it. And we're going to link it to suspect number 10. Oh, this is amazing. I really like this part. 3. I'm going to totally choose the most logical suspect here. I'm going to copy the engineer here. And I'm liking this because we need to link this. I think it's fine to have it duplicate. I don't know. I need to read it out later. But definitely we're going to link this with this one. I think it's not, I'm not sure if we can repeat it. Because I put this deliberately. You know what? For now I'm going to delete it. I'm going to leave it there. But it says on number 3 we should have the engineer. I guess this is how it works. So can I freeform this? Nice. So we have a clue, a linked clue. We find on the corpse, not corpse, sorry, he's alive, on the body of the engineer, the key which he used to override doors. So the scene is going to end with John tying this guy up. And we said this, what we were learning was from the chemicals sample. So I'm going to roll again on a new clue because we sent this smelling aroma from the lobby to Laura to examine it. So first, can Laura find something there? Because this is the investigation check. She cannot, but she thinks this is a very suspicious chemical. So I'm going to add the clue. Suspicious chemical on ship. Okay, Laura, but can you tell me at least if it's lethal? Is it lethal? I guess not, but maybe John will have to wear a mask or a helmet. No, it's not lethal, but it's going to make him. But yeah, it's not lethal, but she doesn't really know what it does. So she recommends John to wear the mask, the helmet again. Enable his mask for respirator. I'm going to ask, did the engineer wear a mask or a helmet? No, he didn't. So now we don't know if he was enraged because of that or what. It's a special chemical on ship. Okay, I think this is a great time to stop. I hope you liked it. I had fun. In a way, things made more sense than last time for me, where I was throwing ideas randomly with just fate questions. Kind of this helps me write things down. The location might have been a bit too much. I'm not sure if it added value, but I think it's fine. I'm not sure if it's very crunchy, but let's see. I'm going to think more about it. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe learned something new. Stay in touch, subscribe, do like, do comment, feedback welcome. Bye bye.